Hello, everyone. It's Johnny Campbell here, and I want to welcome you to Understanding and Reaching the Millennial Buyer. So, in this presentation, our whole focus is on how to understand and reach these millennial buyers. So, let's go ahead and get started here. A little background about myself here is that I've been a professional speaker for a little over 20 plus years as a professional speaker. Before that, I worked in the insurance industry, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in just a moment here. But as a speaker, as a trainer, I've worked in various industries, predominantly the promotional products world. I've done quite a bit of work, quite a bit of presentations there. But my overall background, I've been a professional speaker for 20 plus years. I hold the accredited speaker designation, only held by less than 100 professional speakers in the world. I'm a Toastmaster Hall of Fame speaker, past president of the National Speakers Association, Wordsmith of the Year, TEDx Visage, 20 years speaking. Got a chance to do some movies, television, publish books. So I've had a chance to do quite a few things in this past 20 years of speaking. Here's me as a photo of myself in the Speaker Hall of Fame induction. Okay, my story is pretty much before being a professional speaker, I had spent a little over 10 plus years in the insurance industry selling insurance and also as a claims adjuster. During my time when I sold insurance, that's when I first came across the promotional product world. Because when you sold insurance back when I first started, you were the insurance man and you were also the person that brought them, your clients, calendars. And those calendars I did buy and get from promotional product professionals. So that was kind of my first indoctrination into the industry and the field. Soon realized how valuable those promo items were to the growth of my business. And soon after, not only did I sell insurance, but I was promoting and marketing and selling promo items as well to go in conjunction with what I was already doing. So I kind of walked into your world of promo backwards, but here I am today as a speaker inside of this space now, sharing with promotional product professionals how to build and grow their businesses through the use of promotional product items, but more importantly, how to get more customers because of those promotional product items. So I'm here, and and my authority is really on getting you more customers. That's what my focus is on. That's what I'm here to do to help you. Kind of an overview of the world of the millennial buyer. I always show this slide here just to kind of give a little bit of an overview of who you are marketing to. Now, this individual that you're marketing to makes predominantly a majority of their decisions based on online reviews, things that they've studied online. They like to do their research. They do their homework very well. They live off of recommendations, social proof, also friends and connections. So they are a very unique collection of individuals that make up the millennial buyer. And what we're going to do is dive a little bit deeper into this millennial buyer so that we can better understand who we are marketing to. So the first step on here is this: understanding and reaching the millennial buyer. And what we're going to talk about is the millennials' decision making facts and data, profiling and reaching millennial buyers, and finally, how to sell to millennial buyers. So, we're going to talk about is a little bit of facts and a little bit of history so that you can put this all in context as to why this millennial buyer is so important. So, let's go ahead and get started here. Understanding the millennial buyer is to understand something very important here is that they are using the online world as their marketplace to make decisions about offline events. Here's the thing about them. According to Forrester's, B2B e-commerce is expected to become 1.8 trillion market and account for 17% of all B2B sales in the US by 2023. Here's the important part. Driving this growth is the increasing number of millennials stepping into decision making roles within an organization. So, what we got here is we have individuals who initially have been sitting there on the sideline watching everything. and they've been watching and they've been learning from older buyers, older decision makers. And now their time is coming. And the way that they make decisions is really driven by online. They observe things really well. They do their homework really well, and they've kind of come up in their businesses that way through research and through study. They have come to that place of being in that role as a decision maker. Some other quick facts about them. Forrester research found that 60% of B2B buyers would rather not communicate with sales reps as their primary source of information. Instead, the overwhelming majority, 68% of B2B buyers, prefer to research solutions independently online before ever engaging a company. So here's the thing. As you market to the millennial buyer, it is so important that your website, that your social presence be up to date and current. But also, it's important that you be responsive online because they don't want to talk to a sales rep or a distributor at first. What they want to do is go to your website. They want to go to where that product service is being mentioned at. They want to go there first and do their research. So I want you to think about your website for a moment. Most promotional product people's websites are an explosion of promotional product items. The thing is this: where do they start when they land on your page? Now, I'm going to go in a lot deeper than this as we move along in this presentation, but I want to start there. When they land on your website, what is the first thing they're supposed to do? If you don't know the path that they should follow to do business with you, then therein lies the first challenge you'll have with marketing to millennial buyers. When they land on your page, there should be a thing that helps them understand where they are and what's supposed to happen. In other words, a welcome video, some kind of text, some kind of message that helps them understand where they're starting from. Quick facts about millennial buyers. Millennials are in fact involved in 73% of B2B purchase decisions. 1/3 of these millennials are the sole decision maker. And millennials are expected to account for 44% of U.S. workforce by 2025. The last one is definitely one that is coming real fast and hard because more and more people are headed toward retirement. And because they're headed toward retirement, the millennials are assuming those roles and responsibilities. Many of the companies that you deal with, the smaller to mid-sized companies, millennials are assuming those leadership roles in much more pronounced ways now. That's why 1/3 of the millennials are sole decision makers. A lot of these millennials are also starting their own businesses. They started their own small entrepreneurial business, and some have grown into big businesses. So they're the ones making those decisions about whether or not to buy promotional products or not. And then finally, just because of time, more and more millennials are in that role of helping to influence or help push a decision about particular promotional product items. They're involved in the purchasing. So they're involved in the purchasing department, or they're involved in the acquisition, they're involved in the research, they're involved now. And because they're so involved, it's important for you to understand their nature when it comes to how they buy and the way they buy. Okay, the next thing on there is designing your business to reach, market, and sell to millennial buyers. Our first step here is about reaching millennial buyers. I always show this profile here because it's important to understand who we're talking about. When you are thinking about marketing to millennials, the first question is asking, who are they? And what do I mean by who are they? When you have customers that you're currently dealing with, ask yourself the question, was there ever someone, a younger person in the room taking notes? Was there ever someone in the room talking to you about their needs and expectations? think about current customers and who you're talking to right now versus who you're getting referred to talk to. There could be someone within your existing client base that's already deferring a lot of these decisions over to a younger person. So you got to be clear on like who are they. Also, be clear on titles and responsibilities. Their titles and their roles are giving you a clue that they're the ones that are now making these decisions. So titles and roles also help you identify who this individual is. Because once again, as they begin to move up the ladder, they're going to take on more pronounced roles and responsibilities. So it's important for you to understand, like, who am I dealing? Am I dealing with a millennial that's in HR who handles promotional product stuff, or am I dealing with a millennial that's in the sales department but handles the promo stuff for their company or when they need to roll it out? It's important to understand who you're talking to and what's their role. Another issue is, where are they? Whenever you're trying to market to younger people, you got to ask yourself the question, where are they online? Two places that I can say with confidence they are on LinkedIn and they are on Instagram. These two platforms have proven to be the strongest for identifying millennial buyers. LinkedIn is the strongest because there it will tell you who that person is and what their role is in that organization. So that to me, and this one, we're going to focus just online here. That's where they are. So when you're looking for them online, those are two places that you can find them. Also, you can find them in the third question here. Millennials are easy to find based on their industries. See, the question here is this: what is their challenge or desire? The only way to know their challenge or desire is to know what industry they're in. Are they in the banking industry, financial industry? Are they in the medical industry? What industry are they in? And whatever industry they're in, they're facing challenges there. Those challenges are influencing what they feel they need to do to help their business be successful. So you want to know what industry they're in first. By knowing their industry, then you know what their challenges are. That's another place to find them. You can find them on LinkedIn, you can find them in Instagram, but you can also find them on their industry websites and their industry newsletters, things that they read. That's where you're going to start looking for them. How will you market to them? You can market to them through LinkedIn by reaching out to them first and foremost. So you got to get comfortable with LinkedIn and reaching out to people, but you want to have insights and knowledge when you reach out to them so that they want to connect with you. The same works in Instagram the same way. You can have a really cool promotional product item, but you've got to connect with them and show them how that makes their life better. Also, number 4, how will you market to them? Every industry has a newsletter. Every industry has their own website. If you want to market to younger millennial buyers, market to their industry media outlets. Market to the primary media platform or social media platform for their industry. So if their primary industry is in banking, see if they have, if that banking industry has an association, website, has an association LinkedIn account, has an association Instagram account. That's how you find them. That's where they are, and now you can start to market to them. How are your customers finding you? 5th question, what information are they seeking? Whenever you have someone that reaches out to you, the next step is to do a reverse engineer on them. And what do I mean by reverse engineer? The moment that they connect with you, ask them, where did they find you? How did they find you? Was it a person? Was it a website? What was it? Because that's what you're going to need to double down on in order to get more of those younger people to do business with you and to find you. If it's a person, then build a deeper relationship with that person who's recommending you. Or maybe it was the fact that you posted something on a website for their industry and you need to put more effort there. Or maybe it was an email note that was sent out with a newsletter with your advertisement in it. Wherever it's coming from, you must identify when someone reaches out to you. And when they reach out to you, that's your way of figuring out who your millennial buyers are, what industry they come in, what problems they're having, and then you can start to make the necessary adjustments in your own website and in your own marketing message. So I want to go over that again here so that everyone's really clear on what I've just brought up here. Who are they? Title, role, responsibilities. That's one way to find them. In your database right now, title, role, responsibilities. Where are they online? LinkedIn, Instagram. Are they on an industry website? Are they on an industry's social media platforms? Are they on the industry? Are they reading the industry's newsletters? What challenges are they facing? That's where you research the industry they're in and the issues that they're dealing with and the industries that they're facing. Then you understand, okay, this is what I need to be communicating to them on and how a promotional product can be of service to them. How will you market to them? I could use LinkedIn to market to them. I could use Instagram. I could run ads on the industry's website. I could be included on the industry's massive email note that goes out with their newsletter if they're willing to allow me to pay for it. I could post comments on social media for that industry's social media platforms. These are ways for you to reach and target that millennial buyer, but also, number 5, reverse engineer it. Figure out where they're coming from and double down back on that. Okay. The next thing on there, when it comes to millennials, a lot of their decisions are group decisions. So in other words, you might even have someone who's in charge, but yet they're in charge, solely in charge, but they'll still bring it to their group to have a conversation. Or the millennial that's in charge will have another millennial do the research and present back what they've learned about your organization and what your group has to offer. So that's why it's so important for you to have your website up to date. Have information on there that can help this person sell your organization to the organization. In other words, you want to make sure they've got enough information to sell, so that millennial can sell you to their organization. Also, there are sometimes in there opportunities where if the millennial does their research, reaches out to you, and you find out through conversation that they're going to have a group conversation, ask them, can you come to it and make a pitch? Or maybe you do a Zoom call, or you do a webinar where you present your products to them in that capacity. See, we live in a world today where our job is to help the customer feel comfortable with the transaction. We know they're going to buy from somebody already. We already know that. Our job is to make them feel comfortable. And sometimes us getting involved at the formal group discussion committee time is our best chance to secure that work. Because sometimes what happens is when you're competing for business, everyone will submit their proposals, but maybe only one person will be willing to present their proposal. And if you present your proposal to a group, you can Q&A the group while you're doing your proposal, which means you'll know more than those that only submitted a proposal. That's why seeing if you can present your offering to the group is a powerful way to build a relationship with the millennial buyers, but also potentially one up all your competition and secure that work. The next thing on there is this: marketing department and sales teams must know their digital touch points through the buying process. When a person comes to your website, as I mentioned earlier, what's supposed to happen? What actually is supposed to happen? When they land there, are they overwhelmed with hundreds of promo items flickering and waving at them? Or are they greeted by a video that helps them understand who you are, what you do, and how you help? See, when people come to a web page, you need to have laid out the steps, the digital touch points, the steps they need to take in order to do business with you, in order for you to create the sale. But you have to start with something. So you have to say to yourself, where do we want a new person that comes to our website to go first? Do we want them to call us? Do we want them to click on a button and fill out a form? What do we want to happen first to guide them through the buying process? Also, on your website, you want to make sure you have phone number, email, text, social links on there as well. But you never know with a millennial. They might want to call you. They might want to email you. They might want to text you. Making those available on your website is so important. And being accessible, that's the key right there. If you get a connection request on LinkedIn, you need to respond to it. If you get a direct message on Instagram, you need to respond to it. What happens is that millennials will use these platforms as mechanisms to communicate with you, but if you're not responding back, they'll assume that that's how your business is. So that's why it's so important to get up on your LinkedIn and your Instagram and any other digital platform that does business with the customer, which is your website. Next thing on there is this. Millennials want social proof. Proof that you are who you claim to be. And what do I mean by that? Here's 6 major types of social proof. From the customers, from experts, referrals from friends, ratings, reviews, social proof, certifications. They're going to do their homework and their due diligence on you. So your website, your social media should have things on there that support that you are who you claim to be and that you are the person, or your organization is the organization that can fulfill the promise. And that's why I show you these 6 ways here, whether it's certifications, social media proof, happy people, reviews, referrals from friends, by experts who say that you are the best, or from customers. Now, to me, one of the most powerful ones is, of course, your customers. But here's the thing about getting testimonies. If you're listening to this presentation right now, one of the things that you need to do is get video testimonies from your customers. Written is great. Audio's nice, but video is better. And what I mean by video is you want a video where the customer says their name, their organization, and the problem that they were dealing with that you solved for them. I am such and such. I'm from this company. We needed a product that we could use to build brand awareness. We needed a promotional product item that could help us win back lost customers. We use this from this company and we're forever grateful because it worked out great. That's the kind of testimony you want. You want a testimony that identifies who they are, points out a problem, and discusses, not in great detail, but to some degree, how what you have to offer was the solution. That's a good testimony. Not those testimonies I see at the bottom of people's pages where such and such is awesome, Joe blank. Those are not good testimonies. You want detailed testimonies that support what you can really do. Another thing, when you're dealing with millennial buyers, they want data and insight. So of course, having product specs is helpful. User reviews. If you're selling items that you know they're going to have questions on, and everyone has questions on, create an FAQ on that. If you want them to see the value of what you have, create case studies on how to use the product. See, a lot of times we talk about the specs of a product, but a case study shows how a person can use that product and get results. Of course, there are special reports that you can create as well. The next thing on there, visuals and videos are the most preferred channel for millennials when researching B2B products and services. Here's the thing. When you're thinking about creating videos, it's nice to have videos that give the specs and the history of a product. But that's not really what a millennial buyer is looking for. They want you to explain to them how this product can help them be more successful at their end game. So in other words, these promotional items together can help you win back lost customers. These items can help you create brand awareness. This is a great employee loyalty package that you could be using. This is a great gift that you could give to your customers to get more of them to come into your business. The demoing that you want to do is to demonstrate to them how what you have to offer can help them get more of what they want. That's what this is right here. 88% of buyers agree that content needs less focus on product specifics and more focus on value that can be brought to a business. One of the things that I've done for different companies is I've been there, what they call a pitch man. And what I did was I identified a promotional product item and I talked about the item as it relates to that person using it to get more business. So, in other words, I'm talking about your promotional product item, whether it's pens, pencils, whatever it is. But I'm talking about not just the pens, the pencils, the koozies, and all of that stuff. I'm talking about what it's used for, what its mechanism is designed to do for that person. See, buyers will buy more the clearer you can help them see how they can sell more. If they will buy more from you, if you help them see how they can sell more from buying from you. You have to help them see this. My job was to give a path, was a roadmap on how to actually do that. And you can do that for your company as well, where you create videos where you explain to your potential millennial buyer how to use your product so that they can be more successful. Now, it does take a little bit of time and a little bit of craft to do this. In other words, you have to get better at your presentation skills. You have to get comfortable presenting online. But these are things that you could do, or you could have someone else do for you to help your company sell more promotional products to millennial buyers. Because here's the key. They're watching the video and they're trying to figure out how to use what you have. So it's your job to help them see how to use what you have so they can be more successful at what they're doing. The next thing on there is this. Studies reveal that millennial buyers often shift their focus from researching product and service, researching vendors, meaning they're looking for partners. When you're trying to do business with a new millennial buyer, the last thing that they want is a vendor. Here's why. A vendor will only tell them what they need to know. A partner will tell them what they should know, what they really need to know in order to be successful. A vendor is all about a transaction. A partner is all about a relationship. You know, a vendor only calls when they haven't heard. In other words, they only call just to make a sale. A partner calls to see how they're doing. You want to be partners with these individuals. When you're a partner with them, their desire to stick with you is stronger, and they're less likely to be seduced away because of price. See, a vendor will come along and say, we can do that for $1 less, or 50 cents less, or this percent less. But if they feel they have a relationship with you, a partnership with you, a vested interest in being with you, they're less likely to be seduced by price. But if they don't feel that they have a real partnership with you, they will leave you because of price. So that's why it's so important to partner with millennial buyers and help them to see that you're their partner and stay connected to them. Like the times that we are in right now, it is so important for you to maintain connection and relationships with those you've done business with in the past and that you're currently doing business with. Because as things continue to progress and turn around, people will suddenly get price conscious. But if they had a relationship with you, you're less likely to fall victim to the price war. But if you haven't had that relationship in bad times as well as good, but you haven't had it when things are tough, chances are price will dictate how they go forward. So it's so important to partner with them to build that relationship. The next thing on there is this: strong moral compass. A company's social, environmental, and philanthropic position factors include into uh, position factors into purchasing decisions when considering vendors. Over 60% are also willing to pay more for a product if it's good for the environment. In other words, here, millennials, when it comes to marketing to them, if they know that you're sourcing this locally, if you're sourcing this from a local place, they like that. That builds deeper relationships. They realize that you care about the community. But here's the other part: if you're unable to source locally, but you're able to give locally, they like that as well. We realize sometimes you can't get what you need from someone local, and so you have to go outside to get it. But if you are involved in the community, involved in the environment, philanthropically participating in things, that allows them to justify why they should be doing business with you and paying a premium. If you can locally do it, local businesses, local manufacturers, if you're able to do that, that also helps them see that you care a lot about the community. So they're very socially conscious. So it's a matter of thinking about that for a moment from both sides. Because when you're able to do that, you're able to attract more millennial buyers, and you allow yourself to not have to cut your prices. Our next piece on here is how to sell to millennial buyers. One of the things that when you're selling to millennial buyers, cell phones and QR codes and apps, these are all the things that we today can use to make more sales. So of course there are QR codes that can be scanned, and all of these things are out here that are great. But I want to get a little bit deeper and a little bit more focused in a specific area. One of the areas I really want to focus on is, and of course you got on here Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. The one that I want to focus on, because I talked about two here mostly in our webinar. I talked about LinkedIn, and I've been talking about Instagram. And I want to go a little bit deeper into Instagram here, because LinkedIn, I've got a whole training on that. But Instagram, I want to go into something here to give you some nuggets of information so that you can be more comfortable in using LinkedIn. In using Instagram. The first thing here is this: when you want to market to millennials on Instagram, you need to look for their companies first. See if you can find their companies. Once you find their companies, then you can start to see what their companies are posting. Once you see what their companies are posting, so @ name of the company right there. Once you see what they're posting, then you can look at your promotional product items and say, okay, they're posting these type of items. In other words, they're at these events, they're providing these kind of services. So that can help you see into what they're doing. And by seeing what they're doing, that can help you understand what promotional product items I should be promoting to them. So Instagram is a great platform to give you a window into what a company is actually doing. And then sometimes you can go to that person's account and see what they're actually doing inside of their account. A lot of young people have two different accounts. They'll have their personal account, and then they'll have their business one. We're looking for the business one. That's the one that we're looking for, because that's the one that gives us the greatest insight in how to do business with them. Also, hashtags. As in Instagram, a hashtag is merely a keyword. And it's a word that has a hashtag that follows it, but that word that follows it could be a word that helps us figure out what's on the mind of our millennial buyers. So when we go to their Instagram account, see what kind of hashtags they're putting out. It could be for a conference or an event. It could be for a drive or an initiative. And those drives, initiatives, conferences, events, whether online or offline, are indicators of what you could potentially be offering to them to get their business or to do business with them. Of course, there's IG stories and live, but I want to focus on hashtags and that actual Instagram account because they're the account that millennials represents. In other words, the company. That's the window to see what is going on and to help you see what kind of items you could be offering up to that company and going through the Instagram doorway to find that information out and to market to them. What I'm showing you right here is merely my Instagram account early on. And one of the things you can see here, if you go to at thetransitionman.com, you'll see my Instagram account. But what I want to show you here is this little link right here called Linktree. I use that service right there because it tracks who clicks on my link and comes over to my website page. You want to make sure that you've got a little link tree there so that you can track who's clicking on your LinkedIn, on your Instagram account and coming over to your page. See, a lot of times people underestimate the power of Instagram in learning what people really are interested in. And so one of the things you want to do is you want to be posting stuff on your Instagram account, encouraging people, if they like it, to like it, but then also to click on your bio and come over to your actual web page where your formalized stuff is for them to take advantage of it. So say, for example, you post a promotional product on your Instagram account. It looks really cool. It looks awesome. And then at the bottom of it, you say, click on our bio if you'd like to learn more about it. That's how you start to find people who are interested. So you set up your Instagram account, you post promotional product items, what their purpose is and what they could do for someone, and then you put your hashtags, different keywords, and that will help you attract younger people to your Instagram account who could be potential buyers. Also, another thing you can do here, when you're at conferences or at events, and they will be here again, you notice when you're at an event and someone puts a hashtag in the name of that conference, go to that hashtag and see who's posting against that hashtag. Those could be also millennial buyers, people who are of influence, who you could do business with. So you want to see who they are, who's doing the posting, because those might be other people that you have opportunity to do business with or to discover who's in charge by following back from that post whatever that post was. Okay, and finally, some questions to answer here. In the time that we have been on here, I really wanted to kind of go over things here in a certain kind of way. And what we talked about here was who are you reaching, who are you trying to reach? We talked about where are they? We talked about the challenges and the desires of these individuals. In other words, based on their industry. We talked about how you will market to them. We talked about that millennials make group decisions. We talked about website and the buying process, how they actually buy. These are very important things here. Like, you want to make sure that your website is set up so that you understand exactly how they buy. In other words, when they come to your page, what's the first step? What's supposed to happen? What's the next step? What's supposed to happen? Number 7, social proof. You want to make sure that you have social proof on your website so that they can have confidence in knowing that you are the person that they should be doing business with. Number 8, video. Having video on your site, having video on your social media, promoting who you are and what you do. One of the things you can do for sure inside of, and I'll go back here for a moment, inside of Instagram, once you're connected to someone in Instagram, you can send them a video, you can send them an audio, or you could text them in the DM, which is direct message. You want to make sure you're using video to help sell them on you. But your videos also can be a welcome for a website, but a video can also be a video can also be on the site showing them how they can sell using your promotional product items to their end users. You want to make sure that you keep up to date on your own social media, whether it's your LinkedIn account or it's your Instagram account. You want to be up to date and you want to be responsive when these things, when people are posting and when people are saying things. One of the other things that you can do for reviews is set up on your account a Google alert. Put a Google alert out for your company's name, and so that you can be aware when anyone everywhere responds to you or says something about you. So setting up a Google alert is another way as well to keep your ears to the ground and know what's going on. And that's why I have Google alerts set up so that I know when people reference my company or my name, I can go and check and see what's going on. Now I know that what I've said here in the time that we have has been a lot, but it's because I wanted to make sure that you had the basis to start this journey down the road. LinkedIn, Instagram, and your website are the most important things you can be doing right now to reach the millennial buyers. The fourth thing you can be doing to reach them is going to the industry websites for the millennial buyers. In other words, they're in banking, are they in financial, are they in education? Go to their primary websites, the sites that represent that industry. Join their LinkedIn group, join their Instagram, join their newsletter. If you can join the newsletter, see if you can post ads on that site. See if you can be a part of a mailing that goes out. All of these things are ways for you to reach and connect with your millennial buyers. And you've just got to be responsive. When they reach out to you, you got to respond to them quickly, because your lack of response is a sign to them that it's a lack of interest on your part. Now, putting it all together here, what I've been doing in our time here is really making a case for you to step up and do a little bit more to market and grow your business. In other words, LinkedIn, Instagram, your website, these are all ways that you can improve the results and market more effectively to millennial buyers. I offer up a strategy session. There's no cost to it, where you can reach out to me. We'll schedule a time to talk on the phone. We'll discuss your LinkedIn, your Instagram, or your overall marketing to millennials business strategy here. What I wanted to do in the time that we had here was I wanted to give you a buffet of ideas, of ways to look at the millennial marketing process. For some people, you're already there. You already have millennials and you're trying to create bigger conversions. For some of you, you're just getting there and you're trying to reach out to them for the first time. And then there's another group of you here who have never thought about at all their LinkedIn account, their Instagram account as it relates to millennials. So if any one of those categories that you fall into, reach out to me if you've got questions. And I'd be happy to answer your questions and provide you with some insight and potentially some training on how to be more successful when you're marketing to millennial buyers. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for taking time to listen to this webinar, and just always remember that your success is all about your ability to take action and to follow through on actions every single day. Take care of yourself, be well, and I look forward to serving you in the near future.